Alright. Good morning, everyone. Going live today a little bit earlier than expected. Got out of work early, got back early, got some stuff done. And I know we said we were going to do something other than Satisfactory today, but we are in territory that I have never explored before, so I'm eager to get back into that and get working on more machines and more stuff. So we'll get our audio check out of the way, and then we will check that out. More machines and more. Okay, audio does work. So I don't know how it's going to play out. I did check the last VOD because, as I mentioned a couple days ago, I was using a fan to blow air at my computer to help keep it cool. And that has resulted in some interesting bass undertones on the VOD. It's a little bit obnoxious. I'm sorry about that. It can be overlooked if you have the volume down a little bit, but it's not great. I have the fan on again today. It does have a high and low setting. So today it's on the low setting, the other day it was on the high one, so we're going to just see if adjusting the speed down a couple notches fixes everything. Satisfactory is loading up, so we're going to get right into it. I spent some time wiring up some SAM off stream. Part of the reason for that was because off stream I was working on getting all of the SAM fluctuators that we needed, because I was going to make a whole bank of converters. And I did make those because the parts were taking up space in my inventory. But I also realized that, first off, the machine that's producing 300 a minute, in addition to not being enough for the area or the production that we were going for, we would have needed a lot more just to keep up with the rate that I was turning it into fluctuators. So what I did was I went and I found another SAM node, and I wired that into the base. I put a couple of storage containers right next to our manufacturers. I also built this little section over here, which is going to help. That was already in existence. This little section right here is hopefully going to help deal with converting fuel into ionized or rocket fuel, some nitrogen gas, a little bit of sulfur, a little bit of coal. Should be easy enough, and we get rocket fuel. Now I'm sure that's not going to come out perfectly, but if we get to this today, that would be great. Our main project is way down here. So I'm actually going to do this to help display it. Go away from that a little bit. So they should appear on the map. That's the one that's wired into the base right now. That was the one we already claimed. That's the one on top of the mountain. I put a miner on that because I thought it would be enough. It is not. And it might actually be too far away. I have that path. So that path goes straight out this way. So I think it's right over here. It might be somewhere closer to over here. But in one of those locations, there's a SAM node, and that SAM node is pure. So I overclocked that, put a tier 3 miner on that, overclocked it. It's producing 1200 a minute, which is more than what we need. Oh yeah, I didn't end up making those. But yeah, over here now we have the particle accelerators ready. These are going to make diamonds. I still need to wire oil over here. I didn't do that. But those diamonds are going to get turned into time crystals, and we are going to get 60 of those per minute. And I believe the tier 6 belts require time crystals and the trigons. And obviously we have these 6 that are going to make trigons, so that's 180. We would need a lot more oil in order to produce what we need. I don't think it does have an outlet. You can only do gas unless there's a recipe for turning that into oil. I don't think there is. But I'm going to throw another hard drive into here. Oh yeah, I also went and I made the things, the ammunition and the nobelisks, so that we could no, it's not in there. Oh, it's in the MAM, and I just did a thing with the MAM, and I'm dumb. But anyway, I'm just going to throw those into inventory for now. It'll be fine. I can always yank them out if we need them, or when we need them. How much? I have 500. 500 should be enough for now. So yeah, the top one is the one that's overcrowded with material. So the SAM goes into all of these. That's 8. 8 times 120 is 960. So really that pure node would produce way more than enough. This side, so we're gonna have to do some fancy shenanigans. I'll have each of them supply 8. That seems fair, right? Supplying 8 each. or sorry, each of them will supply 4 each. There are 8 of these machines. Every conveyor is going to supply 4 of them. I know what I wanted to say, even if the rest of me kind of fucked up the saying of it. Make sure to properly connect everything, because that was a mistake I've made several times, building the things too quickly and not bothering to make sure they're connected. Okay. And then that makes reanimated Sam. How much? 30. There's 8, so that's only 240. So that's entirely manageable for a single belt. I will, however, put industrial buffer here, because I want this to specifically stockpile the reanimated Sam. Is that close enough? It is. So that takes reanimated Sam. These take reanimated Sam. I don't think these do. No, that's just oil straight into diamonds. And that's ingots into trigons. That's diamonds into time crystals. And this is aluminum into empty fluid tanks. Still not sure I want this here. I definitely want that on the other end. Do that real quick before I forget. see, all these work fine. I don't know why the refineries over there don't want to function correctly. Maybe I wired something up wrong somewhere. So I also don't know what we're going to end up doing for a final factory, at least not at the current moment. One of the many ideas I've had is to completely disassemble this factory and start, you know, like renovating the face of the mountains over there, or just building into the desert. I really don't know what I want to do. So I'm going to have to ponder that for a while. Set. Let's go over to the MAM real quick and see if we can get one of those other things before I forget about it again. Petroleum diamonds. Right, that's what I wasn't sure being a good rate. I don't think either of these are particularly good. Goes through 30 cycles a minute, so that's 600 petroleum coke. Which actually requires a fair bit. Okay, we need 100 casings. Turbo rifle ammo.
Turbo rifle ammo unlocked. The pioneer ammo of choice when obstacles are numerous and time is short. Panic and imminent death often negatively affect human accuracy, so this ammo meets the human experience with fixed efficiency.
Okay, so I do want to get the uranium cells. But before we do any of that, I want to worry about getting some other stuff. Scan on the hard drive. I want to get this wired, and then we can go and get the nuclear devices. Where's the other thing? Okay, that worked. So that eats those. Them. And then, yep, it just needs to go there. And I will split the difference. I think I'll actually use a thing to split the difference. That's wired together. So we need copper wire and steel pipes. Those should not be much of an issue. Steel pipes are kind of buried in there. Oh, copper wire. There's a switchback? Is there a switchback? This line to convey around the copper. And obviously I'm going to have to do some fancy bullshit here a little bit. And also, does that clear or do I need to get real creative? Oh no, that clears with plenty of room. Okay, we're good. And then, oh nope, wait. Here's the thing. And then that. I don't want it to swing around like that. That would be messy. And then I want it to appear about there. I do hope that's producing enough. It's interesting watching a few of these like chug along just fine, and then others are at a complete standstill. I mean, it's obvious why Sam would be at a standstill, and it's obvious why some of these would be not at optimal rate. But it does still make you wonder. I'm wondering how I want things to get organized. That might actually clear. That's too close for after the conveyor end comes up. So our SAM research got done. And we are out of parts anyways. And we would need nuclear materials for the rifle ammo. actually, before I get too invested, these are making aluminous. This fabric. So in order to make some of our stuff, we're going to need aluminum ingots. And aluminum ingots would be a slight issue to get. The wrong thing. This one, right output flow. This one, left output flow. And then this one, the right output brings overflow. That crap. Make that so that it's a little bit straighter. then this shall be our grand bank of excess alclad ingots. An alternate heat exchanger. I'm not sure I like that. Well, in a refinery, I don't need to worry about making petroleum coke. So far, we're burning through some of the crappier recipes. Okay, so that. Right, I was doing stuff with copper. And we had basically gotten copper, well, halved most of the way. Gets close, but it's still clear. better. Okay, so that might have enough clearance when we get to the last stretch. Whoops, not that. Straight. And then we need steel pipes. Yep. And that will take aluminum ingots, which I kind of already started with. Steel pipes. Now, are steel pipes far enough on this side that I can easily grab them? Motors. I don't see them anywhere in here, which is pretty unfortunate. Right output is any, center output is overflow. figure out if I can do this right. Sorry if I'm not being terribly chatty at the moment. I'm trying to focus just a little bit on getting this done the way I want it to be. And we're running out of support beams, but that's also not a huge concern. Could do something a bit cheeky. Just a matter of would that That's wired up. I might be able to go up another half piece there, but you know what, why bother fighting with it? I can just so let's pop through the floor. And I want to wire up at least the beginning of these. Because this will give us some good material right off the rip. these I need are aluminum ingots. We are now producing fluctuators. Actually, on that, let's make... And there's our SAM fluctuators. I'm not going to have any more trouble getting those. We need more sheeting. Which is fine, because we are heading over here anyway. Because now it's time we get the Alclad stuff. Well, I will probably need... iron. 3 sets of plates. I'll get 2 sets of concrete. This. Alright, so now we gotta get the Alclad storage container. I think I wanted to cross all the way back over here. Because it almost makes sense to have it go makes sense to have it go past where we're going to be making the bottles. To figure out where the bottle production thing is. Okay, and that's going to be a good marker, clearly visible. I will have to trace back the sulfur line and figure out that production. Ingots. I don't think we really need fixite ingots. They're working. They're producing ingots pretty quick. Holy shit. We're making trigons. And these are going to be a major component that I'm going to need a fuck ton of. It would help if I wire them all together, right? Man, that's fun. I'm also going to put what is it? I need fluctuators for this. probably because this is leaching off some of it. There's that, and then that eats those. Now we just need to wire up some oil. Ooh. Before we do any of that, let's get a speed upgrade for the dimensional uploader. Hard drive scan complete. Straight coal and packaged turbo fuel. That might not be the worst recipe. I'm gonna take it anyways because we have recipes that'll let us convert oil byproducts into fuel. We've got a recipe that lets us convert like packaged water and fuel into turbo fuel. So this could be potentially very useful. Maybe not right now, but eventually. And then we had... Can't do anything with that yet. Ionized fuel is going to be huge when we get there. Getting power shards is also going to be a huge thing. Synthetic power shards. Once we unlock that, that's what's really going to open up the final factory. Because if I can get synthetic power shards, we can just build as many as we need. No need to build... excuse me. My stomach's been upset all night. It's been a fight. Just hiccups right now. If we can get synthetic power shards, we won't need to build nearly as many machines, and it'll be a lot easier to wire everything up. It'll take a lot more power, but I'd rather deal with a power issue than have my PC melt by doing like 7 million computations. Okay, and then the dimensional depot, we need Mercer spheres. And we have 26.
Dimensional upload speed increased. The dimensional shift now no longer cares how complex the components of the original part are, and will save each part as a single collection of particles that can be instanced easily.
Group shift the body core flow cycle song of the 5-layered shallow state.
I'm working on it, but are you saying there is another layer? Is it a sensor limitation?
Deepen.
Helpful.
What the fuck? I know I was saying I missed that during the last stream. Oh my god, look how quick it... Jesus. Okay, yeah, we are building up a good number of trigons. That's fantastic. God damn it. Oh. Oh. This. I had an idea. Because I'm looking at those, like, we're going to need a lot of time crystals or whatever in order to make our final stuff. And I don't have too many ways of getting more of them. But what if I just throw a bunch of summer sloops at the problem? And then I get more of those. Granted, that means we need a fuck ton of SAM fluctuators. Really need the logistics upgrade. And you see, the thing is also, if we end up getting turbo diamonds and everything, I can use fuel, or I can make a big fuel production line. I'll have to play around with the numbers on this one. I can make a big fuel production line that ultimately ends in ionized fuel, which is a gas. But I can have that. I keep hiccuping. I can have that produce a bunch of stuff. And in the process, I can have, like, oh, god damn it. You never hear other streamers get hiccups. What the hell? I can have a bunch of offshoots, right? Like, fuel is useful for something. I forget what exactly. Turbo fuel, we just found out can make diamonds. Okay, that's that. What is your production rate? 150. So that's a full 300 pipe. That's a full 600 pipe that we're using. Yeah. Yeah, our SAM node is right over here. That's the 1000. Or the one I've got overclocked to produce 1000. That's making 150. 150 for the bottom line. $300 for the bottom line. So the bottom line's currently got 450. Ooh, I've got some things over here that I'm not using. Yeah, I gotta figure that. Your rate is 120, which means that I can jack you up to 300. I don't have any power shards. Oh, I probably didn't need to pull out the slugs to do that, but... That's only 60. There's one that we don't have a thing on. $240. Oh, this is perfect. So this one pump is going to save us. I turn it that way, can I get enough room for the last thing that I want to fit in there? That's where that goes. Determined to get this back to base and have everything producing on time. And then this weekend I can just let the game run and build up a stockpile of materials that I can use further down the line. thing back here. I can't believe I still have the hiccups. Back before I had the jetpack, when I had to actually do all this just by jumping around. Fun times. Using oil for diamonds. That should get us all the way to the top of the thing. Yep. I fucking hate the hiccups, god damn it. I usually only stream for 2 hours on Thursdays. I'm going to try... Excuse me. I'm going to try and get the oil and the diamonds wired up. It shouldn't be too hard. We just have to get enough copper and plastic to get there. This is our 1,000 belt of sand, although we can't utilize the full 1,000 yet because we don't have the final tier of logistics, which is up there in the top right, milestone peak efficiency. We need diamonds so that we can get time crystals. And we are making oil diamonds. Also, the reason it says 10 converters on my to-do list is because I recently threw some somber sloops into the particle accelerators that are going to be making the diamonds. So we can produce twice as many. More diamonds, more time crystals, more level 6 belts. And a scratching itch there for a second. If you are new here, this is the factory that helped me complete Phase 3 and has been brutally mutilated and mauled until it can now... It's not going to complete Phase 5. I'm going to have to disconnect just about all of this. This thing doesn't even produce 2 nuclear pasta permanent reliably. So I don't know what I'm going to do for a factory to complete Phase 5. But I'll tell you right now, this ain't it. It got me through Phase 3. It got me through Phase 4. It's not making it to the end of Phase 5. Initially, the factory was designed to produce everything needed to complete Phase 3 in 1 hour. Wiring up all those logistics took like 60 hours. It was a nightmare. A wonderful nightmare, but still a nightmare. Probably take it under over here and weave it past the reactors. So if I go horizontal to vertical, gonna grab a couple more things of plastic and copper sheeting, and then we're gonna try and get the things operational, because that's a long distance to go. We still have a bunch of random parts. So that's not gonna work. I don't think we have any room for those. I don't think we have any room for those. Can I fit more obelisks? I can. Probably. I was going to try and get the nuclear bomb thing, but we don't have time to run all the way to the nuclear power plant. Grab 4 of them and 4 plastics. Yeah, that's probably enough. We're still stuck on horizontal to vertical mode. I wanted to make sure it wasn't doing anything funky. When's the release of 1.2? Is that June 2nd? Is that only in a couple days? Or was it like June 22nd? There was a 2 in there somewhere. Ooh, almost went down a hole. I think at one point I tried to see what it would take in order to make everything to complete phase 5 in an hour, and the nuclear pasta about gave me a heart attack. Pipe is too long. You piece of crap. We got oil. Can I race it? But wait, we still have to put pumps. We need pumps to get it over the ridge. The pump down there. So the next pump. And then with all those pumps, we can go over the ridge and through the woods, or the desert in this case, all the way to Grandmother's house. How many fluctuators do we have so far? Are these the fluctuators? Yes. We have not even 500. Just over 600 after that, but put on the other pack. Okay, so this line? Yes, this line. Now, the good thing is, even though we're putting it back up like 40 meters, we don't need a pump here because we're coming all the way down the mountainside. Really, these don't need to be Mark II pipes, but yeah, whatever. And very, very soon, we will have diamonds. Diamonds made of oil. We just need the pumps to catch up. It'll be fine. I think. Probably. I hope. That's your activated SAM. Alright, let's go get some cooling units and some... What are those? Radio controls? We'll put in a couple of the newly available converters. Because I summer slooped those particle accelerators, so it's going to be great. How's our power grid? Are the nukes? Oh god, something's gone terribly wrong with the nuclear facility. Oh, something's gone terribly wrong. Well, we might end up seeing the nuclear facility after all today. Because what the fuck happened over there? Okay, detour time. Please, God, let it be something that I can just fix pretty easily. Something's gone terribly wrong. Something's gone terribly wrong. Wait. We only have a couple filters. What do I need to produce? Fortunately, I still have stuff. because dying to nuclear radiation would not be particularly fun. Thank you for your service, Portable Factory. Alright, we're off to Pripyat. I named the cave where I'm getting all my uranium Chernobyl, and I named the nuclear facility Pripyat, because if you have any knowledge of history, that was one of the worst nuclear disasters ever. Chernobyl melted down, Pripyat had to be evacuated. Wonderful time. Are you even moving? If you're not moving, you're half of it's not moving. Oh, Christ on a stick. A good portion of that's moving. That's not bad. It still seems like we're pumping oil. That would be an issue. Okay, at least some of those are cells. So this was all designed to run 1-to-1. I kind of overclocked some of it to try and mitigate things. Power shards. Those should not be... Yeah, their output's fine. So if I can just get the outputs for these reactors going, we're good. This is fine. I don't even... It's not a problem. Why would it be a problem? Fissile uranium. That's not entirely the problem right now. Part of the problem is this. I can fix this too. Overclock 5 things. So this, I've got 3 of these overclocked. I've got 3 of those overclocked. So that means we should be good. Probably. Kind of. I hope. Maybe. Why is limestone not moving as it should? You're not limestone. You're... what the fuck are you? Plastic? Okay, that's fine. Should probably figure out why that's not exactly doing things. Concrete. Okay, concrete is moving. apparently at maximum speed. That's good. Oil. Where's your copper? Oil. Okay, that's making petroleum coke. That's fine. That should be fine-ish. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, power is now stabilizing. Over here, I will make... Fuck you. That'll be fine. Nope, nope, nope. This. That. This. And we will never speak of this again. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. I've got the things that turn all the nuclear waste into plutonium rods all cranked up, except for, you know, the final stage, but that's probably fine, right? I don't... They can produce more than enough stuff. Meanwhile, I never wired up our particle accelerators in the other place to our things that make time crystals, but we can go back and do that now. This is fine. Everything's fine. Oh, I didn't get... What do I need for... What do I need? I need the MAM. Where's the fuck's the MAM? MAM. Not power slugs. Alien. No. Sulfur. I need... encased uranium cells. Shit. So busy trying to prevent nuclear meltdown, I forgot we needed to get the things for the nukes. I'm Superman. Encased uranium cells. Where would I get encased uranium cells? Well, now they're in storage. Having them in dimensional storage doesn't hurt me, right? I mean, they're technically still in my pockets, so that's hurting me. Okay, we're down to 80. Okay, I think having them in dimensional storage is fine. Yeah, because we're finally dropping. Dimensional storage is a lifesaver. Wait, did I even have AI limiters on me? I did.
Nuke Nobelisk unlocked. This Nobelisk uses a nuclear fission reaction to generate a massive explosion. Ensure all Fixit employees are clear of the blast zone before detonation. You probably should not use this. I am not joking. No refunds available. Side effects include glowing, growing extra limbs, liquefied skin, unexpected cravings for flesh, itching scalp, hair loss, finger loss, loss in general, indigestion, and flatulence. Please consult your weapons manufacturing facility if symptoms persist beyond the half-life of uranium-238.
Lovely. Well, that was our brief foray into becoming a glowing ghoul. As I get closer, you'd better be turned on. Excuse me. Still got the freaking hiccups. I supplied you with power. Why aren't you on? Oh, you already finished. Going quite a bit longer than I thought I would. Whoops, wrong thing. I can make the final converters. I'm not going to wire it into a storage on stream. Just because I don't have time. I should have been gone a while ago. But the converters only take diamonds. Okay. I need this to be the second thing. You'll understand in a moment. Still got the goddamn hiccups. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, we have time crystals. Isn't there... Ah, right. I'm dumb. She's alive, boys. We done did it. It's going to take us a while to get it's going to take us a while to get enough for the logistics thing, but we did a bit today. We got the nukes, we got the turbo rifle ammo, we averted a nuclear catastrophe that of my own making. We did really good, and that is going to set us up for the rest of Satisfactory. Once we get the belts, we're going to be great. I'm going to wire up a storage output for time crystals. I'm going to wire up a depot storage thing. The stationary matter converter, whatever. Do that, so that we can get time crystals in addition to the fixed site trigons. And those are going to be getting pumped directly into our inventory. That way I don't have to keep going back and forth and back and forth. I know we've done that like a million times with Owlclad stuff. I probably should have made a thing for Owlclad, to be perfectly honest, but is what it is. And yeah, that's going to do it for today. We've been live for 3 hours, which is longer than I usually go, but we also started a little bit earlier, so it's kind of evens out. It's kind of fine. But I really got to get going. So, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Streams are normally Tuesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. Next week should be normal. I might take the week off from Satisfactory. We might do some Witcher 3 stuff. I need to go back and play back and check to see if you can actually hear my fan that's blowing on my PC to try and keep it cool. seems to have done a good job. PC is not hot, so that's good. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll catch you next week. Ciao.